Dragonball Daima, episode 13. Surprise. And to the surprise of absolutely nobody, this episode was largely filler with only one change that we really need to discuss moving forward for the series. Let's talk about it. Alright, guys, it's Brandon here back with you. Variants cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. This time, Dragon Ball Daima, episode 13. And as per usual, be sure to hit that lovely like button. And if you make it to the end of the video, hit that subscribe button because you love the content. But look, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. This was a filler episode from top to bottom. Literally, the only thing that happened, and I'm going to jump straight to it just so I don't waste your guys' time. Warp Sama was shut down. That's it. That is the only thing that happened in this episode that actually has some relevance pertaining to the main story. Other than that, Gloria reported in to his boss, told her, hey, we have the Dragon Balls in tow. We'll be there when we can. She kind of gave him the little 411 as far as what she knew about Warp Sama being shut down because the Gendarmerie were like, hey, what the heck? Warp Sama's not working. We need to figure this out. Our people can't travel. No one in this realm can travel. We've caused a huge problem for everybody and for everything. Those are the big things that happen in this episode. Other than that, well, this is a traditional anime filler episode. This is like that Naruto filler where it's Naruto filler within Naruto filler that somehow is even more Naruto filler. And Dragon Ball did the exact same thing. Z did it every so often. Super had probably about 20 episodes worth of it easily. And this is what traditional animators will do just to keep stalling us out so that they can draw this out and be like, hey, this is going to be a 22 episode thing, which it is. But at the same time, is it 22 captivating episodes? Is it 22 episodes you want to come back to? Is it 22 episodes that holds your attention all the way through? This one didn't for me. I'm a huge and staunch Dragon Ball fan. I have an entire shelf dedicated to Vegeta and stuff pertaining to either Dragon Ball Z, Super, etc. This episode was exciting, but not exciting enough to be a worthwhile remembrance. Well, I remember this episode like when you're sitting around to talk about 5-10 years, but animes that just really, really blew you away. And I don't want to say this because Akira Toriyama, this is his last go round. May he forever rest in power and glory and all that good stuff. But I don't think you want your arc and your greatness to be remembered by filler. I know it's a traditional anime norm, but does that mean it's absolutely necessary? No. And throughout this episode, we saw that Goma ultimately shut down Warp Sama. So now the travel throughout the realms is having issues. And the minute Warp Sama got shut down by that lever, we saw that all of a sudden the sky started shooting lightning and things started going crazy. And the advisor that has been working for Goma this entire time was freaking out. Why he was freaking out, we don't necessarily know. If there's some connection between Warp Sama and something involving, you know, all the races in this realm. Not really fully explained, so I'm kind of a little torn on that, if you will. But at the same time, we see he still executed orders, followed through with what was going on, even though he can't remember the last time any Demon Realm King just shut it down. Just straight up said, nope, we're not doing this. This isn't going to be happening. We aren't going to go through these steps. Unfortunately, our heroes also had their own problems to go on about. Their ship lost power and ended up landing on an island planet. However, it's still better than the ocean, I will say, because, well, those kraken were going to devastate them. But it turns out we landed on a planet where someone eats those kraken as just your everyday meal. Out of the frying pan into the fire might be the proper metaphor for this. And I can't really say too much else pertaining to it. They landed on a planet called Mega, which turns out to be the second most terrifying planet in all of the Demon Realm. The first being a planet called Giga. And you can probably kind of guess based upon Giga and Mega where we're going with this. Giga is the biggest, Mega's under there, and I'm sure they'd have some other terms that just slot in until you eventually end up in the normal Demon Realms. Everything there is huge. And I mean huge. Like, these are gargantuan beings. Everybody is basically a giant. Their dogs larger than anything else back on Earth. Their ticks are larger than anything back on Earth. These are terrifying monsters. And back on their Earth, they still have dinosaurs roaming around. They still have the equivalent filler of dragons. Like they have their own problems on Earth, but on planet Mega, everything is just exponentially larger. And because our heroes are also tiny, it creates an extra series of problems. Luckily for them, they're still rather strong, so they're able to fend off and fight for themselves because at first they end up fighting off mega hamsters, which, hey, hit me up in the comments section if you're someone who actually owned a hamster all the way from the time it was born to the time it passed of natural causes. I have never heard of a hamster pass from natural causes. It's always some heinous and unfortunate accident. I just want to see if there's someone out there who's actually had something like go perfectly all right for these hamsters. Just saying, never seen it. Either way, the hamsters are basically about to mess our party up because they have numbers. There's like 50 of them. We have about 3 competent fighters and Glorio, who is about a maybe because he's got a blaster, which he ain't afraid to use because we know he's playing both sides. However, they stop when they hear the footsteps of a Megath. And it turns out it's a Megath child. This child is huge. Imagine you're basically mini me or the equivalent of it, and you're staring up at Yao Ming or Shaq. These are gargantuan beings, and basically, his ruler is large enough to decapitate the entire party if so chosen to do. Luckily, the Megath child isn't paying a lot of attention. Unfortunately, his dog is. The dog goes after the party, chaos ensues. Goku ends up getting caught inside the fur of this dog, and he has mega ticks, which made my skin absolutely crawl hearing them scuttle about on that dog fur, and I was not a fan of it in any way, shape, or form. It was disgusting. It was heinous. But they're able to save themselves from the dog for the most part, even though the dog ends up trying to go for the ship because the ship is reflecting light due to the fact that it has the Magite finally powering it on up the proper way. So Goku has to Kamehameha it and shoot it away, only to find out the Megath child now saw that and is going after everybody, and it takes a team effort cumulatively in order to defend the party. Goku has to go full Super Saiyan to defend everybody, use this extension pole to slap away a ruler that this Megath child has, because this child was coming back from school. So this is just a regular everyday occurrence for him. It's not like a big deal. He just went to school, came back, fought a Super Saiyan and his entire horde of friends, and survived to live the tale without any kind of bruises or any kind of scars. So hey, this Megath child has done better than anyone in Dragon Ball history has ever done against Goku. Weird how to Weird to put that out there, but maybe actually, you know what? Second to Chi Chi. Chi Chi still's got an absolute number one spot. And as we kind of learn forward, that our heroes are now going to depart from there, and it looks like next episode Goku is going to be in some level of trouble, which I still have trouble believing because we know where in the timeline where this takes place that none of our heroes are really in any danger because all of them continue forward throughout the series. So it's kind of hard to hold us there, but again, that's the recap of the episode. Be sure to hit that lovely subscribe button if you made it all the way to the end of the video. I've been Brett for Geek Variants. We'll see you in the next episode, which will be Solo Leveling, episode 2 of season 2. Let's talk about it then.